Open-style earbuds are definitely gaining momentum, and most players on the market have at least one offering in that arena. And now Earfun have one too, as they recently decided to jump on the open-ear bandwagon with their latest model, the OpenJump. Hi, my name is Andy and you're watching Andy's Tech Tone. Quick disclaimer, I got a test sample from the manufacturer for this review, but I'm not getting paid, nor did I give preview privileges to anyone, so all you get is my honest and unfiltered opinion. So, here we have the Earfun OpenJump, which is the manufacturer's first crack at the open-style design. And even though the general design is the usual in this category with a speaker unit, a flexible ear hook and the battery unit behind your ears, it shows the usual brand elements as well, such as the silver accent around the circular touch panels or the Earfun logo itself. The speaker units sit right on the outside of my ear canals, but they are unusually close and flush with my ears and also rotated a bit inwards, but that just helps with the good grip we get from the ear hooks themselves, which by the way are flexible but not adjustable, unlike some of its competitors such as the Soundcore Aerofit 2, which comes with a hinge. So while I'm happy with how secure the fit is while running or cycling, your mileage might vary. The soft silicone coating along with the relatively low weight of 7.9 grams make wearing these earbuds extremely comfortable, and even after using them all day long on more than one occasion, I had no discomfort or any sign of ear fatigue. The overall build quality is decent for the money, the buds feel durable enough, and I have not experienced any wobbling coming from the ear hooks during exercise. The OpenJump did not budge when I was running, and I found that the ear hooks did not interfere with my sunglasses or my helmet on the bike either. Plus, there is the enhanced road safety, which is a defining trait of any open-ear design. The earbuds are also IPX7 rated sweat, rain and waterproof, which comes in handy when you are pushing hard, whether it's in the gym or outside in less than ideal conditions. The carry case is simple, it's medium-sized, and it has a springy enough hinge for a hassle-free access to the earbuds. It's not waterproof, but it's fairly slim, so it can fit in most medium to large-sized pockets. What it can also do is wireless charging, so you don't need to rely only on the USB Type-C port at the back, but you can also use any Qi certified charging pad as well. The single charge battery life of the earbuds is up to 11 hours in AAC mode and 8 hours in LDAC mode, while the total playtime can be up to 42 hours or 30.5 hours respectively. These are excellent numbers, and during everyday use I noticed that the buds can indeed last a full day with some juice to spare, even with the LDAC codec enabled. The only thing that's missing is some sort of a fast charging, but given the excellent playtimes and the $80 price tag, it's not really an issue at all. As far as the Bluetooth 5.3 compliant chip and its wireless features, we got support for the SBC, the AAC and the LDAC audio codecs. There is multi-point aka dual device connection, single bud mode and Google Fast Pair. The multi-point connection works well across all platforms, and while incoming phone calls will take over the audio automatically, you will have to manually pause media playback on one device before you can start it on the other. For a more seamless workflow, Earfun gives us a list of previously connected source devices in its smartphone app, where we can manually switch between them all. The only caveat with multipoint is that it does not work along with the LDAC codec, which is a common restriction amongst true wireless earbuds. Other than that, the connection was rock solid during my tests, and I did not experience any dropped signals or lip sync issues.
And now it's time for some mic samples. So this is the audio quality you can expect from the built-in microphones on the Earfun OpenJump when making a phone call in a quiet room. Next, let's do the same thing, but this time around I'm throwing some light traffic noise and a slight breeze into the mix to see how the earbuds can handle the elements while you are out and about.
If you are an avid mobile gamer, then you can enable the low latency mode in the app, and in case you tend to just leave your earbuds in random places around the house, you can ping them each using the Find Headphones menu. There are plenty options for EQing as well, including presets, a 10-band manual EQ, the My Sound Profile hearing test, and the theater mode, which is one of those spatial audio solutions I usually ignore, as they tend to do more harm to the music than good. Turning it on will not only disable all the other EQ modes, but it will also thin out the bass, which is not the strong suit of open ears to begin with. But at least it works with the LDAC codec, so you can give it a go, especially with movies, where the theater mode can potentially spice up the sound for you a little. As for other features in the app, you can play around with the volume and the preferred language of your voice prompts, you can set up an auto-off timer, and you can do firmware upgrades. Of course, you can also remap the functionality of the touch controls in the app, and since there is a single, double, triple and the long press option as well, you can have play, pause, volume, track, phone call and voice assistant controls at your fingertips at all times. On top of that, the touch controls can be disabled altogether along with each of the touch panels and each of the tapping actions separately, so from a setup and flexibility point of view, the touch controls get a very high rating from me. Everyday use is also okay, with an above average level of accuracy and prompt enough reaction times. My only little gripe is with the backward angle of the speaker units, which means that the touch panels face a bit in and back instead of straight out, which takes some time to get used to. We get no smart sensors for autoplay pause either, and personally I would love to see physical buttons instead of touch panels, but that's just me and my preferences. But as far as touch controls go, the OpenJump delivers a great performance overall. And speaking of performance, let's see the sound quality of those 14.2mm wool composite drivers next. Well, as almost always with open-style earbuds, the bass is not quite as impactful as it is on in-ears or over-ears, and in the case of the earphones, it's not even as powerful as that of the Soundcore Aerofit 2 or the Shox OpenFit 2, for example. Both of these buds can deliver more of a rumble in the bottom octaves and more of an extension towards the sub-bass region as well. So I kind of use them as reference in this category, even though both buds cost more than the earphone. However, both the Shox and the Soundcore suffer a bit with voices and speech intelligibility thanks to the combination of the slightly lifted upper bass and the darker mids. On the OpenJump, the mid-range is pushed more forward in the mix, making male and female vocals more prominent and kind of more in your face if you like. The same applies to instruments, as everything comes through with a clean sound with loads of clarity and detail. That's not to everyone's liking, but I personally prefer this sort of a sound, especially when it comes to more chilled or acoustic genres, and especially podcasts or videos where a bloated upper bass can muddy up voices. There is also a noticeable shift in the sound with the bass getting rolled off as we go higher in volume. The sweet spot is around 50 to 60%, above that the bass gets thinner and thinner. Most open ears, including the Aerofit 2, are tuned this way to avoid distortion and keep things clean at all output levels, so there is nothing new here. The only thing is that the mids are already on the edge of being a bit shouty at lower volumes, so closer to the maximum output, things can get a bit out of hand across the mid-range. The highs, on the other hand, are not harsh or overly bright at all. I mean that the upper octaves are detailed and can deliver all the nuances most songs want to convey, but the top end here is not as airy or extended as on the Aerofit 2, for example, making the soundscape more center-focused and less diffuse. Again, it's more like in your face, in between your two ears, with not much happening on either side of your ears, if that makes any sense. As a result, the instrument separation is not the best and the sound stage is not the most spacious either. So on one hand, I love how the vocals are slightly lifted, but I don't like how it's all crammed in the middle without leaving too much room for each of the elements in the music to breathe. Maybe it's just a matter of speaker positioning, which on the earphone buds is closer to your ear canals than on most open ears, including the Aerofit 2. And on the Soundcore buds, you have the option to dial in that position with the adjustable hinge on the ear hooks, which is a great feature that's missing from the OpenJump. Maximum volume is okay, but not as high as that of the Soundcore buds again, or at least the perception of volume is lower due to the less dynamic nature of the sound when turned up all the way. And now it's time to conclude this video, which I'm recording on a Friday. But instead of going through my usual list of pros and cons, let me just quickly tell you about what I was doing on Wednesday, when, amongst other things, I was working on this review. So after waking up, I went through my usual YouTube videos while having breakfast, then started working on this script. Then I went out on a short bike ride and I ran an easy 6K, followed by some yoga and foam rolling, taking a shower and having lunch. After that, I took a short nap and listened to some podcasts. back to testing the earbuds and almost finishing the script by the evening. And during all that, I did not take off the earbuds, not for 1 second, not even in the shower and not while taking a nap. So we are talking about 7 or 8 hours of use without a hint of discomfort. During the day, I used both my Android phone and my Mac Studio, sometimes switching between the two, and even though I enabled the LDAC codec for a couple of hours in the afternoon, the batteries were at about 50 or 60% before I put them back inside their case. Conclusion: these buds are perfect for my use case. Great wireless features, excellent battery life, outstanding comfort, enjoyable sound with videos and podcasts in particular, and a secure fit with a better than average waterproof rating. And you get all that for about $80 as of making this review. So even though it was their first crack at the open ear design, I have to say that Earfun just nailed it with the OpenJump. And this is it for today. If you liked the video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to comment away should you have anything to ask or share. Thanks for watching everyone, hope to see you all in the next one.